Internet. It's Paul, it's Matt, the Dork Lords. We're here talking about Luke Cage, Season 2, Episodes 7 and 8. All right, so a fair amount happens in this one. We're gonna. Yes. So it begins with Luke falling into the water after being kicked off a bridge.
After being paralyzed and kicked
by Bushmaster.
Bushmaster.
It ends. The 2-episode arc here that we're talking about ends with Luke asking Misty if she's got Danny Rand's number.
Yep.
Because he needs a favor.
Yeah. For some strange reason, he doesn't have it.
Good point. I think it's just kind of like, that guy, I don't know, they don't hate each other, but I think it was like a...
He was trying not to use all that money. All that sweet, sweet money.
Sweet, sweet money. Okay, so you just mentioned a point that was interesting when you said Luke got paralyzed and kicked off the bridge.
Yes.
I agreed. That's the way things went down.
That is how.
But if you notice, when he's falling in the if you were, because he's paralyzed with his fist clenched, he's like, I can't. And then he gets kicked off the bridge. You would think if you were
maybe all the water,
you
washing
be in
whatever
the same
it is.
Position.
Off. Well,
I don't know, because he's like falling like this, and he's totally like he's in a different.
Right, but I feel like, well, who knows? I mean, maybe the shock of hitting the water knocked him out. Maybe it's like, oh, now that I'm relaxed, I can.
He starts having visions of his mom.
His life flashes before his
His
eyes.
life does flash in front of his eyes.
Cliche-ingly.
Although that does lead to an interesting revelation, I think, later, which we'll talk about here in a second. But so something. I mean, I guess this was obvious, but Luke could drown. I guess I wasn't 100% sure that Luke is drownable. But I believe Luke is drownable.
Bulletproof lungs don't need air.
Because he has to swim to the surface real fast and like he's gasping for breath.
Now I would kick myself. I didn't mention at this point that there are many times that I've said to myself before this series even existed, I would say, "Sweet Christmas, that does taste good."
Okay.
And the reason why I would, the whole thing. Which is more than just Sweet Christmas.
Oh, okay.
Because one time in the comics, he was in a large body of water, and he had to fight, swim up to get there. And once he got out there, Sweet Christmas, he said, it does taste good. It was actually kind of frustrating for me. They didn't say it when he got up out of the water. He should have said, Sweet Christmas, that tastes so good.
He had the moment to do the comic book thing, and he didn't.
He didn't. I don't know if that was...
did they edit it out?
If the writers were like, how are we going to get that in there? Maybe we kick them off into some water and the moment will happen, because you've seen that many times in movies and TV shows that are based on comics, like, oh, there it is. There's Spider-Man pushing something heavy off of him, or there he is.
Sure. That comic book, that.
Yes.
And they had that moment, and then the guy, whoever was writing it, went off for coffee.
It was like,
finished it without him.
We don't need this Sweet Christmas. We've already said Sweet Christmas so much. It actually sounds stupid coming out of his mouth. So,
but the visions he does have relate to the last time he saw his mom, which was when he was in Seagate.
Right.
And we're not going to go necessarily in chronological order anyway, so we'll just jump into this bit, which I think is pretty important. So, when he's in Seagate, last time he sees his mom and his dad both show up at the same time.
They do.
And the mom's like, oh, she touches the glass. Yes. And the dad's like, you're killing your mom.
Yep.
Because she's dying. We get the idea that
dying
this was
of
the last
cancer.
time he saw her. But even though she was sick, she comes out to see her son.
It was grief-induced cancer.
She believes when Luke says, I'm innocent. Dad doesn't.
No, doesn't believe it.
Dad is like, don't you take the Lord's name in vain.
And
you're horrible.
Dare.
And
basically,
he didn't believe his son.
No, didn't believe it.
And that is really, I mean, we knew this a little bit. This was hinted at in previous episodes, but this is the main stumbling block.
Sure.
It wasn't so much the Diamondback thing, I think. I mean, the Willis thing is there.
A thing.
But this, I think, is really you didn't believe me, and you weren't there in this time.
Yes.
And Mom died.
Yeah.
And
I don't
know if he even kind of blames
the conversation. The conversation was like you didn't. I remembered seeing my mom. He was telling his dad, seeing my mom at the Seagate thing, and you didn't believe me, and you blame me for her getting cancer. And then he was like, and the whole reason I was in prison was because of you fooling around, because the jealous other son wanted me in prison. So it was all your fault.
Yeah. No, that's actually really good. So he said, he being Luke, when he's talking to his dad, says, I haven't gone to church a lot since this happened. But I do feel like on these visions, I feel like God was trying to tell me something.
So as an atheist, I think he should thank his father.
Good point. But he says, I think what God's trying to tell me is, sure, the world may be my problem, but it's not always my fault. And what that seems to say to me is, it's your fault.
Yes.
Dad.
It's not my problem. So the world is my problem, but sometimes it's my father's fault.
Put it on you.
Yes.
You're the jerk who did everything wrong. And so in some ways, episode 7, because we had this thing in the first season of Luke Cage where the first 7 episodes were kind of their own season.
Yes.
And then the second batch, 6 episodes, were another season.
Yes.
That is, obviously this Beastmaster. Beastmaster is a completely different show. He's actually coming up here in the next step. No, okay. Bushmaster is still alive and will be the main villain, I think, for this season. But there were some things that felt like the end of a season in this episode. So season 7, I felt like they were trying to do almost a little like, okay, we got through 7 episodes, let's cap it a little bit. So they had Bushmaster's plan in all but killing off Mariah comes to fruition.
Yes.
The money, he has his exposition moment. Here's why I'm mad at you, which is usually that end of the season thing.
They should have had the camera be tilted because he then walks out the door with someone who can let him go.
Right.
So I've told you my plans. Now I will leave.
Untie you and hope you can
hope this woman is better than me. And it seemed to take her an awful long time.
We'll talk about that. But yes, I agree that was like what. But so he has his supervillain monologue, which usually comes at the end. He gets away. Then we had basically the reconciliation, not complete reconciliation, but the dad apologizes to Luke.
He does.
I'm sorry. I blamed you and I was wrong.
To Carl Stokes.
So wait, what? So those beats felt like end of season type beats. And so it's just interesting that they put a little cap on that.
Getting you ready for them to fridge him.
So let's hope that, unlike the season 1, that the second half of this is as good or better than the first half, where they had a big drop off in season 1. Episode 8 was good, so I feel like it's still going along and is not falling into the trap that season 1 did.
Sure,
perhaps. Anyway, we were talking about. Oh, right. So Bushmaster has his. So we know about pretty much his. I don't know if they're going to do any more relevant backstory for him. But they pretty much gave out the backstory. So the backstory is his dad, I think, was working with Mariah's granddad.
Yep, Stokes.
So Stokes and MacGyver.
No, actually,
his name was
MacIver.
So it's MacGyver.
So there's no G.
MacGyver is in this.
If you're...
he takes some chewing gum and a battery and a slingshot.
If you're Jamaican, there's no G.
MacGyver. His name is MacGyver. So MacGyver is fighting Luke Cage.
Yes.
MacGyver is in the MCU now, which is awesome. Okay. That would be
just give me a bubblegum wrapper and some nightshade, and we'll get out of this problem.
Never uses guns. So MacGyver, his dad got screwed over by Stokes. They were in business together, and then in this resulting turn play, they shot each
what happened
other.
was it's New York, and they built up this little nightclub, and the Jewish and Irish mobs were all like, "Ooh, this is a great little place. We want to take this over." And so the Jamaican didn't want to do it. Didn't know. But the Stokes sold him out, and he shot him, and the guys both got shot. So
it took Stokes longer to die.
Yes, but
he was mortally wounded.
So the family, the mother and the son, went back to old Jamaica.
So I assume the mom is Gwen. Gwen's the name of the Jamaican.
Oh, maybe.
Ghost Rider. I think because they mentioned Gwen later on. So I think Gwen is the name of Bushmaster's mom, who took him back to Jamaica,
right.
And then the Stokes family, to get vengeance, they're vengeful folk.
No, Mariah says no.
I didn't do that.
No,
she did it. She didn't.
Maybe yeah.
Mama Mabel.
No, Mama Mabel.
They sent
Papa
folks
Mabel
down to Jamaica to kill off
God
the family.
bless the child who's got his own.
So basically, Bushmaster, little MacGyver, remembered a Molotov cocktail coming through the window,
yes,
setting the place on fire.
Yes,
and then crucially, his mom puts him outside.
Yes,
and says, "Run,
run."
He does.
He does. Oh, why would he do that?
And she burns up.
Yep.
And so he's not only felt this vengeance for the Stokes, but also guilt. Survivor's guilt, I feel like.
Yes, sure.
Hey, what
yes.
I could have saved my mom, and
sure.
and so this sense of there's a moment where he's talking with his uncle,
yes,
who is still alive. That's one of the we got a couple things right in this episode.
Just a couple.
By the way, we predicted
just a couple.
Comanche.
Oh yeah, biting it
from Shades.
Yes,
but the uncle's still alive, which we thought the uncle was although the last time we see the uncle in episode 8. He's walking down a dark alley by himself, and Shades has gotten in his car. So I'm not sure the lifespan of that guy's too much longer. But anyway, Uncle talking to Bushmaster and says, what will it take? You've got everything now. You've got millions of dollars.
Yep.
You've got the club. You won. And then Bushmaster's like, I want Mariah's soul.
Yeah.
For my mom's soul, basically, is what he said. So. It's
a shoe for a shoe.
He's consumed with this idea of retribution for his mom.
Yes.
Which is kind of interesting in that then Luke is talking about, his thing about his mom. His mom was dying.
Sure.
And we have these, basically, both of these guys were giving a story about the last time they saw their mom alive.
Sure.
So again, it's kind of showing the parallels between these two guys.
Parallels. That's what you're talking about?
Parallels.
Mm-hmm.
They call the uncle, or Bushmaster calls the uncle Anansi, actually.
Yeah, I caught that.
Which, American gods,
mm-hmm.
well, I mean, it's a god, but is in American gods
sure,
as well.
Yeah, sure.
The spider god. So maybe he'll turn into a big spider.
Maybe, yeah.
And
does whatever a spider can.
Then the next thing will be all the American gods show up, and they're in the MCU. They kind of are already, in a way.
They are. One
Thor's
of them
in there.
Be a Vision.
So they have Odin.
And Loki. Or Low-Key.
Right, Low-Key Lysmith. Anansi did sound a little... he was like Jedi Master guy. Like he was... I forgot the exact line, but he said something like, the dark side is strong in you. Or something like... He actually said something almost exact, like, you are too filled with the dark side. Or like, I was like, what? Are you... Wait, are you... is he your Padawan? I don't know. Anyway, there was he was doing some Yoda style, advice. There. Yeah.
Ignore me, you must.
Maybe Yoda was Jamaican. So we also learn that Bushmaster is the drugs he's taking, the nightshade he's taking, is
destroying his body.
Destroying him. He gets angry at one point, kind of Kylo Ren style, speaking of Star Wars. Somebody comes in and is like, oh, Mariah's still alive. And it's, who? How? Luke Cage. Gah! Rip chair in half.
Yeah.
Minion runs off. But in doing that, he hurts himself, and Uncle Anansi notices.
Yes.
It's like, oh, you can't do this. Keep doing this. You're gonna, destroy yourself.
Yes.
And no one else could take on Luke Cage. It's up to me. I have to be strong enough to do what I want to do.
Yes.
And they realize they can't. They're not going to go back to Stokes now because they realize that Tilda Stokes. They're not going to go back to the store to get stuff.
No.
So they're going to try to grow it themselves.
Yes.
And Uncle Anansi's like, you can't do that here. That's a Jamaican thing. It's a very specific soil content.
I was just like,
He's
what?
like, no, we'll just grow it. Okay. So,
You can't like have somebody in Jamaica put some dirt in a box and send.
no.
Not with all their millions of dollars. No.
Okay, so let's figure out how did they get their millions of dollars, Paul? They got it through Piranha.
That's right. Piranha did it.
So after Luke unparalyzes himself, swims back to the surface, goes back to the church, where his dad's supposed to be keeping track of Piranha. Dad's not keeping track of Piranha.
No.
In fact, Luke says, "You had one job."
Yep. You boy, don't you disrespect me?
Yeah.
That's the episode, right? Where he's like, I can still break my foot up in your ass.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'd love to see you try. And I was like, yeah, me too.
Yeah, there is that great moment in that bit where the dad's getting mad at Luke and he grabs his shoulders.
He's like,
and you see him literally straining to like squeeze him like all right, you fine.
I'll swole.
You're all swole now. Yes, it's in that same episode. So that obviously some difference of opinion there. Sure. And at first I was kind of on Luke's side, like, geez, what the hell? But in retrospect, the guy is a reverend or whatever, right?
So
he's asked, hey, look after this guy. He's in hiding. People want to kill him.
Yes.
If that guy who's in hiding wants to leave, you're either going to be forced to then like imprison the guy,
sure,
which is probably not something the reverend is used to doing, or you're going to have to be like, look, you probably shouldn't go out there because you get shot, but you're going to go. I don't know. Like it wasn't the most horrible dereliction of duty for him to let the guy go. I think the idea was, this guy probably doesn't want to get shot, so he'll probably stay. As opposed to anyway.
I mean, he clearly didn't factor the stupidity of Piranha.
Right, he did not.
Although, of course, the whole idea of, I did ask myself a few more times this episode, he couldn't have gotten in touch with the cops.
I know
it seems like the thing they've stopped short of is actually attacking the police station. They do kill people outside the police station, I'll grant you.
Yes.
But they've yet to actually invade the police station.
It did seem like the reasoning behind not handing Piranha over to the cops was pretty vague. And like it was just like an excuse to have him at the church. They wanted to have the dad and a reuniting with the dad.
Well,
and so Luke
just thought, hey, I can just give Bushmaster a call, and the winner takes all.
Yeah.
And of course I'll win. So there you go.
Cocky.
I don't need to. Yeah.
Cocky. Claire is still out of the picture in this one.
Oh yeah.
For these two episodes.
Sure.
As is Bobby, whatever the guy who's donating his kidney at the moment.
Oh, and your favorite.
And my favorite. Well, yes, Foggy was not there either.
Yeah.
But yes, the less Foggy, the better. Bushmaster's killing himself, but he has now taken control of Harlem's Paradise. We've got that scene where he's standing up at the top and looking over the railing, and people are singing songs, and I'm in control. And they take the Basquiat out. I noticed that too.
Oh.
The painting. That painting keeps coming up. They mention it again when Shades is scolding Mariah.
Yes, that picture.
He's like,
you should have shown that picture.
Yeah. And she smacks him. But yeah, that painting gets hauled out by Bushmaster's men, and he replaces it. So I don't know where that painting is at the moment, but it's important to Mariah. So
Stokes.
Mariah Stokes, not Dillard. We do so. Ridenhour. Now that was a surprise. I didn't see Ridenhour's death. This is the police chief, sergeant guy, whatever. But I kind of should have seen it coming because he got nice all of a sudden. We talked about this last week where he was suddenly like encouraging.
Yep. Like, you admitted to me a gross infraction of your responsibilities. Oh, okay. That's all I wanted you to just tell me.
Then he in this episode, in episode 7, he shows up at like a basketball court to talk to her. Like he had to go out of his way to go find her, not at her house.
No,
right? Like go to a basketball court, try to talk her into talking Luke Cage into getting Piranha in, because at this point they think Piranha's still alive.
Yes,
he's a head in a Piranha tank at this point. But so he's again being really nice. You're gonna come back. Hey, whenever you're ready.
Yep.
So as soon as he turns a nice guy, he gets whacked.
Yep.
He also does make a stop at Mariah's at Harlem's Paradise before he gets killed.
To apparently allude that he's the real father.
See, I don't know. I couldn't tell if he was a father or if he knew there was a secret. He didn't say I'm the dad or whatever. You know what I mean? Like he said, you didn't tell Tilda who her real father was.
And
it's just the way he said that.
Shut up, you shut your mouth and face.
So what we get is I'm a little confused by this too, because so Mariah then has a conversation with Tilda where she tells her, because Tilda's like, oh, you gave up on me. You gave me up. And she's like, oh, but the saddest day was when I gave birth to you, but then I had to give you up, and that was really sad.
Yes.
But didn't we have a scene earlier in this season where Tilda's like, oh, I remember hanging out with the Stokes? So it just was odd that Tilda seems to have a remembrance of living in the Stokes' house. And so I got the idea then that she was a kid, like she was 8 or 10 or something like that, as opposed to I'm a newborn infant being handed off for adoption to somewhere. Yeah. That's where I don't. And we also, as you mentioned, like Ridenhour said, oh, does she don't even know how old she is? So there's an idea of like, how old?
Yeah, really. It's like, how long you? Like, no, you're really 4. No, I was 4 2 years ago.
So she's got a secret dad who may be Ridenhour, who is now dead.
Yeah, he's dead.
And won't tell.
What would it be, though? Would it be Bushmaster's father?
Maybe.
No.
Well, so we get the idea that, man, I just don't know. Mariah I thought at first that Mariah had a kid, and maybe just for whatever reason. She's too young, and she wasn't to give it up for adoption or something. But that fact that Tilda remembers growing up there makes it seem like Tilda was with the family for a while and then got given up for adoption, which then makes it weird.
Sure.
Like,
I don't know why.
So it's the timeline is confusing here. But at some point, Tilda got separated from the family.
Yes.
For many years.
Yes.
And Mariah has now returned, and if Ridenhour was the dad, then that might be the reason. She might look, your dad's dead. I have news for you.
Sure.
I guess she's never told her dad.
No,
dad was.
never, ever.
Okay. So Tilda is got some secret parentage.
Boom, in come Bushmaster to burn them all down.
Yep.
Tell his life story, and then, I will release her, the daughter, so that she will.
Oh, right.
Maybe she'll be better than me, and not run away and save you.
Yeah, I think that's the idea. Is like, will she? He gives Tilda the opportunity to either run away like him when he was a kid and his mom was,
or to burn with her mother,
or to burn with her mom.
Because obviously you cannot get rid of my magical ropes.
So she's tied. She, being Mariah, is tied to a chair.
Yeah, why can't she just drag the chair?
Exactly. She's just standing there, and then she tries to, I think, play with the knots at one point.
The Stokes are famously stupid.
The whole time the place is burning, but it's also the door is not far away.
No, it's open, so she can leave.
It's open, and it's right there. I mean, it's literally a few feet away, maybe 10 feet.
Go on the street. Hey, could you just help me move something? There's no smoke coming out of there. A little bit. I'm cooking something.
You tilt the chair back and drag it.
Yes.
I mean, literally, it would take you seconds.
Yeah.
It's not that Mariah is that heavy.
No, it's not.
She's a small woman.
She didn't look like she had a meal.
She probably weighs like 110, 120 pounds.
Something like that.
Yay, we're out. It was just weird that it was like, I can't do anything. It's impossible for me.
No,
thank goodness Luke Cage showed up. Yeah, he could take you the 10 feet to the door that I couldn't.
Yes.
So, that was a little... the staging of that was wrong. You get the intent, what they were trying to pull off, but I think they could have made it seem more desperate than it actually was depicted on camera.
Sure.
So we've got a meeting of the minds with the dad. So okay, after Bushmaster's freak out, his Kylo Ren moment, he's like, we have to kill Mariah and this Luke Cage. So he sends the minions out to take out various folks. And one of the things he says, I'm going to get Luke Cage. I'm going to find something he loves and squeeze.
Yeah, I feel like though he's like, I think originally we heard there was a bounty on them. And then later on he's like, I'll increase the bounty, but bring them to me alive.
Oh, I missed that part. Okay. Because the bounty's like $1 million.
Right. That's what it started out.
Money has no meaning.
But then later on, when they still didn't get, he was like, more!
Yeah.
I need them alive.
Yeah, so Piranha did the little power of attorney, tap, tap, tap. Here are these funds, transfer to Bushmaster, so he got all of Mariah's money.
Yes, now it's 0.
There is a nice scene there where Mariah's checking her accounts.
Yes.
Anyway. Kind of
and actually, it's funny. Whoa! That whole... her and Shades yelling at each other. It didn't, I was able to watch all of it, even after they started making out and stuff. Because I feel like they blamed each other appropriately.
They had multiple scenes where they would fight and then kiss.
Right. But in this scene, they were really, really fighting, and she had to come to grips with the fact that she was ignoring all his good advice.
Yes, they're standing in the burned out husk of her place. What
causes him her to turn to accept his praise again is the fact that I forgot what he said. She's scared. She had to admit that she was afraid. She's finally afraid. Before she was not expressing much fear, but she did finally. Now she doesn't know what's going to happen, and he said, "You can do this. You are the queen. You are fantastic. We can."
Yeah.
Now, none of this forgetting. You're a mobster. You were raised a mobster. Be a mobster.
Because there was a moment there when they tried to insinuate that they might turn on each other when the attorney is no longer working for them because they don't have any money.
Yeah.
Misty makes it seem like, oh, look, Shades, the attorney got pulled. That means Mariah doesn't care for you anymore, and she's going to turn you in. And they're trying to push on Mariah to flip and on Shades to flip. And as it turns out, neither really flips. No. And they end up actually coming back together.
No.
So it seems like Shades does actually have feelings for her. It's not just I see you as a meal ticket.
Right.
I feel like he actually has.
Yes. But, in this next episode where they're all hanging out in Rand's beachside property or whatever it is, it seems like maybe she would if they just met her. I haven't seen the episode
yet, but I assumed it would be in some kind of tall high-rise, but they're on the beach.
Oh, oops. No, that's not actually true. They're in some... That's right. They're in another facility of Danny Rand's.
Okay. But yeah, so the idea is Mariah went to her daughter's mother's touch, the herbal place, to like, hey, I don't have any place to stay, and I love you. You're the one person I love. Tilda's kind of like gets a little tear in her eye, I guess, so she's kind of buying it. But at that point, the Stylers come to shoot up the place.
Yeah.
There's a shootout,
Yep.
And then Luke Cage shows up
Yep.
and helps take out the bad guys.
Yep.
And now they're outside the store that's just been shot up.
Yep.
And they're like, where do we go? We don't have anywhere to go.
Okay.
Call Danny Rand.
Yeah,
so that's what they're trying to do is basically hide Mariah and her daughter.
Yes.
Mariah hires Luke, or tries to hire Luke to protect her daughter.
Yeah,
and I think he kind of succeeds.
Well, no.
They don't sign a contract or anything, but...
What is it? Yeah, she nearly gets killed, and she's like, I want to hire you. And that was, for me, a little like, come on. Because, here for hire. So that's what you do. Yeah, I'll hire you, hero.
Yeah. Hey, we work for supervillains.
Yeah.
She's kind of a supervillain at this point, in a way. I don't know. What do you think? And
Super?
Her maybe. Well, she doesn't have superpowers, but in terms of like her elevated status, in terms of she has underlings, she has a network of folks.
Yeah.
She's Joker-like.
Yes, Joker-like.
Well, in terms of Joker, didn't really have a lot of powers himself, but he had a giant network.
In terms
of
of this show, I shouldn't say this series of shows, he's like the Kingpin. She's like the Kingpin.
Yeah, she's like Kingpin.
Now in the comics, Kingpin is really powerful and strong.
Yeah, Kingpin actually has
He says heft, but here in the TV show, he's just a big guy.
He kills people with a car door.
Yes.
So what else do we have? There's other stuff that happens, but we get this. So Luke protects the church. You see his dad punching a guy.
Yeah,
that was interesting.
yeah.
They're like, okay, they give him a little agency, and the two of them have a little moment. It's not a complete coming back together, but he says, "I remember Willis. It's your fault." Basically, it's the I'm sorry for blaming you. Yeah, Dad, you're horrible. You're a horrible person. Okay, son, thanks. That seems like at some point, anyway. But it seems like they're on the road to mending that fence.
Yes.
And Shades is following Anansi, so we're going to see some more. The Mariah's gang / Shades' gang are going to get vengeance, I think, on the Stylers.
Yes.
Which means the Bushmaster will still be like, Bushmaster doesn't need any more impetus, but he'll be like, must kill Mariah more,
yes,
faster.
Yes.
And Tilda is interesting now. So I think her storyline in the second half is going to be interesting. She's got a connection to Luke.
Yes.
She has a connection now, like she's like, oh, I think I know how to defeat Bushmaster if I create this powders, which now I probably can't do anything with because her store got shot up. I don't know, maybe she still can. But
yes, she can.
She's also she has a love-hate relationship with her mom, which I don't think that's going to end well. She's a villain. I mean, Mariah's a villain, so I don't feel it's going to be like unlike Luke and his dad. I feel like Luke and his dad are headed towards a we're forgiving each other moment. And I don't.
So he can get killed.
Right. That could be the shock moment. I'm seeing that more now. I could see it maybe.
No, I still feel like it's.
We're not sure. There's apparently a big surprise at the end of this season. We don't know what that is.
Well, you're saying surprise.
That's the way I thought you phrased it. What was the?
Well, an ending that to apparently a character or some story plot that people weren't happy with. I'll say that.
Okay, so controversial.
Yes, controversial.
Okay. Surprisingly controversial.
Maybe surprised, or maybe people saw it coming all along. Then I got to do this. Are they? I don't know.
Oh, they did it.
I don't know.
Okay, so the perhaps surprise controversy is that Luke's dad dies after going like, "Look, let's play ball, son." Oh, and then no. I didn't tell you. I'm terminal. So maybe, but
I feel like he's only been around for this season, so
right. It's really not that controversial. It wouldn't be that controversial.
Right. Exactly. I think it's whatever her name is, Night Nurse.
Claire.
Claire. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I feel like. I just feel
okay.
Partly because I'm hoping.
I do think, though, the relationship that Tilda has a part to play in this second act, that she's not simply going to be someone that needs protecting. It's like anyway, we'll just see what happens here.
What do you mean? Why wouldn't she need protecting?
Well, she's going to need protecting.
Oh,
but
yeah,
I'm saying I don't think that she's merely like something that needs to be protected. I think she's going to have her own plot.
She's got the whole, I'm going to figure out the way to stop him.
Right. Which
okay.
I kind of hope that doesn't happen. But look, just take this powder.
I feel like she should at least give Luke something to resist being paralyzed.
Well, she did. She was trying to figure out what makes
Batman.
Luke tick.
Like, now I've got my bat anti-shark repellent.
I guess my point is we don't know what side of the fence.
Anti-nightshade.
We don't know what side of the fence she's going to fall on.
Cage anti.
Is she going to fall on the villain side? Is she going to end up basically siding with the Stokes? She's a Stokes.
Yes.
So maybe once the Stokes it's in the blood and she becomes a villain, or does she side with Luke and then take out the Shades Mariah combo? Like that's what I
feel like it's only been a very short time where she's been reconnecting with her mother.
Okay. So,
a motivating factor for that would be the death of her mother, who she's not close to. Who else would be, because she'd have to be alive after that. Like, suddenly now I'm proud of being a Stokes. After all this time of not being proud of being, I feel like it's more likely, like, we killed her, and now Mariah is still foolishly holding on to, her fallen palace.
That like Tilda's death maybe makes Mariah, like, that's the final
Yeah.
like descent of the slide for.
Yes.
Okay.
That's my guess.
Okay.
I
like
mean,
that.
It'd be a surprise though if.
Or maybe like somehow Mariah's.
Because I think the actress playing Tilda is fine, well enough, but it just seems like a lot for her to finally be like.
Gotcha. Well,
so
maybe it's this.
Because I'll be happier if 2 seasons is enough of Mariah. Is my feeling.
Well, so okay,
and I don't feel that way about Kingpin either. So it's
I like Kingpin a lot.
But I feel like we have more of a I guess they could send Mariah to jail. Maybe I'd be fine with that, and she'd be trying to figure out how she can still manipulate the world from jail.
But so to your point, since vengeance is a theme, either falling prey to the need for vengeance or trying to resist the need for vengeance, you've got Bushmaster, pushing the vengeance idea, and Luke trying not to be vengeful against his father. So maybe Mariah's need for vengeance, Stokes style. Mm-hmm. Remember, the Stokes killed Bushmaster's mom for vengeance. Maybe in that act, she kills Tilda somehow. Accidentally or something.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Like, don't drink the thing or whatever.
Or, I put this plan in motion and ended up killing my daughter.
There's a car bomb and you did the thing. You jumped in the car. That you weren't
what?
Supposed to get
no, Apollonian. No, Tilda, no.
So, maybe. Okay, there we go. Those are some thoughts for what happens at the end, which we'll get to in the not too distant future.
Wrong we are.
See how wrong we are. Luke Cage dies. That's the controversy.
Yes.
He's out of there. He's like,
it.
what?
Yeah. And they put him in a coffin and a little rose.
Yeah, it's like starts to shake a little bit. You're like, oh. All right. Anyway, so we end with what appears to be what's coming here is Danny Rand's appearance.
Yeah, sure.
For better or worse.
Or better.
We'll see. Fingers crossed that he is not the Diamondback of season 2.
Yeah.
Where you're like, oh boy.
Or the Cobra. Or the
right. Or the anaconda.
The garden.
The python. All right. All right. So come on back and we will be talking more about Luke Cage and other dorkly things. Bye everybody.